The Erbeskopf is a mountain in the Hunsrück range in central Germany. At a height of 816 meters, it is the highest point in the state of Rhineland-Palatinate, as well as the highest point of German territory on the western bank of the Rhine. It lies within the Saar-Hunsrück Nature Park. Geography. Location. The Erbeskopf lies in the southwest of the Hunsrück and the Ida forest, forming part of both natural regions, near the boundary with the Schwarzwälder Hochwald, to which it belongs morphologically. Its largest part and the summit are part of the municipality of Hillscheid in the county of Bernkastel-Wittlich. The rest belongs to Allenbach in the county of Birkenfeld. Its northeasterly neighbor, also in the Ida forest, is the Karlide. The streams that rise near on the Erbeskopf are the Ida Bach, whose source lies to the northeast below the subpeak of Sandkopf and thus south of the Karlide, the Thrannenbach, the upper course of the Traunbach, whose source is southeast of the summit, the Holtriefbach, whose source lies below the subpeak of Springenkopf and is a tributary of the Roderbach, which rises northwest of the Erbeskopf, and the Sim to the north, a tributary of the Schaliesbach. Elevation. In 2008, a resurvey of the height of the Erbeskopf was conducted by the Rhineland-Palatinate State Office of Survey and Geobasis Information, using two independent survey measurements that each gave a height of 816.32 meters. Its subpeaks, with the heights in meters above sea level, are Sandkopf, California, 0.6 kilometers northeast of the Erbeskopf; Springenkopf, California, 1.7 kilometers southwest of the Erbeskopf; Erbeskopf, California, 1.3 kilometers southwest of the Springenkopf; Holtriefberg, California, 0.8 kilometers southwest of the Horsberg. History. During a military exercise in 1892, sappers built a wooden observation tower on the mountain. In 1894, the Society for the Moselle, Hochwald and Hunsrück decided to construct a stone Emperor William Tower at the summit. This 24-meter high tower was opened in 1901, 111 steps leading up to a viewing platform. In 1933, a kiosk was built at the entrance to the tower and a weather station installed at the top. In late August 1939, the tower was closed to civilians. 3 more stories were added. Military signals equipment was installed and it acted as the communication center for a radio relay link from Berlin to the Atlantic coast. The weather station was upgraded. U.S. troops occupied the Erbeskopf on the 17th of March 1945. They expanded its military facilities considerably and observed all military air traffic well into the territory of the Soviet Union. 3 large radar towers and the Irwin bunker with the wartime headquarters for Central Europe supported NATO's strategy as a multinational command post during the Cold War. The Emperor William Tower was blown up on the 18th of August 1961 because it obstructed the all-round military radar picture. In 1971, the 11-meter-high wooden Erbeskopf Observation Tower, or Erbeskopf Tower, was built outside the out-of-bounds area. The tower is of wooden design with 3 platforms. Although its views are now restricted by trees, in places there are good views as far as the Eifel. In the wake of the political easing of tension between NATO and the so-called Eastern Bloc states, the significance of the listening equipment and electronic alarm systems on the Erbeskopf waned rapidly. Half a century after the end of the Second World War, American troops withdrew and the radar site continued in operation by the Bundeswehr. Until August 2004, the summit plateau was a heavily fenced-off, military out-of-bounds area. Since the removal of the barbed wire, most of the summit is now open to the public again. For centuries the Erbeskopf was crowned by a grove of mighty beech trees at the summit. In former times it was also called the Heilige Hain, although it is not recorded whether it had been a cultic site, a Christian shrine. After the Emperor William Tower was blown up and wide-scale clearing took place, there were only a few remnants to give a poor impression of the original ancient trees. Today, in 2011, the summit plateau was extensively remodeled. The so-called conversion project, initiated by a special purpose association, the Erbeskopf Winter Sports, Nature and Environmental Training Site, after the military had handed back part of the area, cost €800,000, of which €554,000 was pledged by the state. The sculptor, Christoph Mank, in cooperation with landscape architects Ernst Plus partner of Greer, won the preceding competition for the use and design of the Erbeskopf summit in a field of 29 participants. The sculpture, which may be walked on, was called Windkling by Mank and offers not just an outstanding view towards the northern side of the valley, but is also itself visible as a landmark from a long way off. Landscape architects Ernst Plus partner built another ground-level object, summits of the region, on the plateau, that points to other mountains in the region using concrete axes indicating the direction, height and distance. On the Erbeskopf there is a leisure and winter sports center. 3 ski lifts operate in the winter and a summer Odelbahn in the warmer months. In the winter of 2005-2006, the lifts were open for a record 88 days. The ski piste is used in summer as part of the Erbeskopf mountain bike marathon. Since 2007, the Saar-Hunsrück long-distance path has included the Erbeskopf within the leg from Borfing to Moorbach. The Hunsrück House at the northwest foot of the mountain is well known nationally as an environmental training center. It offers an interactive exhibition on the nature of the Hunsrück, a woodland play park, a senses educational path, a weather survey garden, an environmental laboratory and a conference center with modern media technology. A footpath used to run from the Markthalfang into Birkenfelder. At the highest point of the way, very close to the summit of the Erbeskopf, travelers would stop to say a prayer. This is still commemorated by a stone inscribed with the word Gottlob. On the 29th of April 2012, a sculpture path was opened on the newly remodeled summit plateau.